Hello, I'm Chris Harrell, and thanks for joining me for part 2 on my blog series, The IoT for Everyone. I said in my last blog, I was trying to find a solution for a very simple thing around the house, and I wanted to find a commercial IoT solution that did what I needed it to. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything out there, and so I decided to jump in with both feet and build my own IoT rig at home using components that I could find and source off the internet. I'm really excited today because all my stuff is here, and I want to take everybody through what I got and the parts and pieces that make up this IoT rig, so you can follow along and learn from my experience at home. I appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in. Let's get on to the unboxing. All right, so like I said, super excited. Behold the IoT in all its wrapped and boxed glory. Let's walk through the bits and pieces here real quick. So I started off with kind of the root of all things for IoT, especially for do-it-yourself projects, which is the Raspberry Pi. Now, I ordered my kit from CanaKit. I haven't been sponsored or anything. I paid for this myself, but they offered a kit that had all the parts. Specifically, also was a 32 gig edition, which was important to me, and had a clear case for the Raspberry Pi. If we look inside, I already cut the seal for it just to make it easier to open. They have a lot of parts in here that are fantastic to get started. So they have the Raspberry Pi itself, HDMI cable, breadboard for connecting sensors and other devices, power supplies, GPIO breakout board, and some basic LEDs and other sensors to kind of do your Hello World type project. Along with that, what I discovered, and I'll show you guys a quick diagram in a second, was that a lot of IoT projects are actually a hub and spoke model, where there are multiple IoT devices sending to a central hub, so that you can connect multiple different types of sensors. You can connect a lot to this breadboard, as you can see, but unfortunately you're going to run out after a while, and you know, breadboards are finite in their sizing. You could link lots of them together. In fact, this is set up for that, but that gets a bit unwieldy when you have to start dealing with lots of little wires and things. So what a lot of people are doing, and actually the reason I bought this kit from Eligu was they have the Arduino board in it. And so if we pop this guy open, my Uno 3, or R3, is the most important piece of this kit, right? So this is essentially another Raspberry Pi-like computer on a board. This one also comes with a nice breadboard breakout, obviously a large number of sensors and bits and pieces. There's some very cool sensors that I'm excited about in here. One is a ultrasonic sensor. There's a noise sensor or a sound sensor here. This little guy. And again, I bought this because you know, my original goal was to find something commercial. I wanted to buy it. I didn't want to really have to build everything myself. But when I started getting into the weeds of it, I realized I needed to find something that offered all the prepackaged bits that I needed. So a power supply, cables, the specific breakout boards, and all the different sort of inputs and outputs that I might need. Because you can do this online, and you can do this really manually, but I would have literally spent hours and hours on Amazon trying to find all the parts. The other thing that I was really excited to find in this kit from Eligu is the PDF code libraries for the Uno board. This is something, and I'll get to this in just a second, the documentation for programming both the Raspberry Pi and the Uno is pretty thin. The internet is your friend, but having those PDF code starters in the kit, super excited about that, because it should short circuit some of the work that I need to do. And then, of course, beyond the computing power, we need sensors, right? We need bits and pieces that talk to other things and tell us things about the environment or about things that are going on. I got this other Eligo sensor kit, same company that makes the starter kit here. There is some overlap, but again, PDF code library is included. And again, this has 37 different types of sensors. There's a laser, 2-color LEDs, a buzzer. You can see, you know, just a huge variety here that we can do lots of great stuff with. And then Kumon makes this kit that I was pretty excited about. Both of these ship in this nice static wrap on the Iligo. Kumon came in this nice bubble wrap to protect from damage. If we pop this guy open, then we can see this is the sensor that I'm the most interested in right now, which is my soil moisture sensor. But there's a lot of other sensors in here too that I can do some cool things with, sound sensors and things like that. So I'm really excited to kind of crack into all that and get started on it. Also, I bought an additional breadboard breakout. It was recommended by some of the articles that I read online from other people. This is just another breadboard platform for mounting that. And then this Kumon kit came with a number of resistors, which is fantastic for wiring up all the breadboard parts of the project. Now, the last thing that I ordered here was the Programming the Raspberry Pi book with Python specifically. I'm familiar with Python. I've used it for some other projects. I thought this would be really good. Frankly, kind of light. The first few chapters are good about getting the Raspberry Pi itself set up, which was fantastic. But beyond that, in the actual, sort of programming part of it got a little thin for my taste. And again, that's why I say, the internet is your friend. Makes it a lot easier for you to find what you're looking for when you can just Google for it. One other thing that you might need, I certainly did, and again, this is not an endorsement, I didn't have a keyboard and mouse lying around anymore. I've been using a laptop for so long that I had to go ahead and order one. I think it was like 12 bucks for a wireless and keyboard and mouse combo. I got mine in yellow because yellow makes everything faster, so I hope that it will help me really blow through this IoT project with you guys and do some cool and exciting stuff with it. Okay, so there you have it. I am knee-deep in my pile of kit for my IoT rig and excited to get started. On the next entry in our series, we'll look at some of the wiring and start diagramming out how we're going to wire up all the sensors and get everything talking to each other. We'll talk about some of the specifics of how you actually program the Raspberry Pi and the Arduino board to talk to their sensors. We'll look at some examples of that, and hopefully we'll be able to get right into building some really cool stuff with this IoT rig. Appreciate your time today, and I hope you'll join me on my next installment. Look forward to talking to you then.